Hello, everybody. Welcome to HEX Stakes Crypto's Babu Show. We have an awesome show for you guys prepared. I don't know how we have done it, but Patrick has done it again. We got the CEO of Staker app, Steph, here with us today, and we're going to talk about our road trip, but also the most important thing, the Staker app, right?
Exactly, like how to set up the stake app, what features does it have, how Steph and Fireban came up with it, but Steph is already waiting, no? Let's bring him up.
We will bring him up in a second. First, we're gonna talk about our three main questions we always ask our interviewer. Steph, how's it going?
Great, thank you for having me. Pleasure to return. It's always a good show.
It's always a pleasure to have you here on the stream. You have been here with us last year already, so some of our viewers know you already, but since HEX has made new all-time highs again, this also means we get new viewers every single time. So maybe you can just introduce yourself really quick, and then we start with the three questions we always ask our interview partners.
Sure, so I'm the CEO of Staker app, so we're a small team building tools to facilitate the access to the HEX smart contract on the Ethereum blockchain. So we have a mobile application used by tens of thousands of Hexicans. And that was a side gig at the beginning, and now it's something a bit more professional. We're expanding the team. I've been in the community since the very beginning, building tools and try to give back.
Awesome. So one question we always ask is, when did you come into crypto general, like Bitcoin, Ethereum? When was your first touching point with crypto?
Yeah, so the first time I heard about Bitcoin was in 2013. I didn't get in at the time, but I went into the low in 2015, 2 years later, because many people around me were talking about it because I was working in IT and in security. So, everything related to cryptography, basically, was surrounding me in a sense. So I first invested in Bitcoin and in Ethereum and a few different ICO projects. I did not really get burned in any sense. I'm always very skeptical, and I take time because I've got the engineering background. I can actually investigate the project and the code behind the project. So I was very skeptical in whatever project I was investing in. And in 2017, I think via YouTube, I came across Richard. He was just a strong Bitcoiner at the time, advocating against the Bitcoin Cash, and this is how I came across Richard. I thought he was a smart guy, so I started following him. And a year later, he's kind of kicking off his first tokens, the CFD token, and then Bitcoin HEX that became HEX. So I followed the whole journey from the beginning. And so, I'm obviously a very, very early investor in HEX.
Awesome. Then you are first day OG Hexican. This is awesome.
I'm not the first day.
He's too smart for FOMOing in the first day.
But you said that you found HEX even before HEX launched it. So
so he was listening to Richard Hart maybe.
You were looking at the charts and everything. So this is perfect. What draw you to HEX? Why did you say, okay, HEX is an amazing product, I'm gonna build an app on it? And what is your favorite part of the HEX game theory?
Yes, I'm not a day one OG. I waited quite a bit before investing, at least a bit more than a month. So I kind of invested in almost the best time to invest in HEX.
And is the day 33 OG?
That's even better. I think, yeah.
But as I said, even in 2017, I'm very skeptical and take my time just to invest in projects. So I played by the book, and I did quite well for myself. So your question was a bit, I've already forgot.
What did draw you to HEX? And what is your favorite part of the HEX game theory?
It's very simple. The fact that you could actually probably on-chain show who was a strong hand, a hodler. There's this meme of diamond hands. In HEX, you can prove it on-chain, and so for me, it was just the simple things, right? I knew that cryptocurrencies are fairly rare assets compared to traditional monies across the world. So if people are incentivized to hold it and not to sell it, it's economy one-on-one, supply and demand as well. That could work, right? I knew the kind of the risk. There's a couple of multiple risks associated with HEX and that philosophy. It depends if you achieve some sort of like critical mass with your product, so that then there's enough people that have confidence in the product that are staked enough in time that you can show that now you have like 50,000 stakers, or even before that, like 10,000, 20,000 stakers that are staking for a weighted average of 5 years. You needed this kind of first few months to reach a certain critical mass for things to take off. And actually, so I invested actually in different phases based on like the risk profile I was seeing in the investment. But maybe unlike most of the people that invested in HEX, before investing, I read 3 or 4 times the smart contract. So I was a very strong.
I mean, just for the people out there, when Steph says that he wrote the smart contract, he literally means like the lines of code. So there aren't not so much people in this world who are even able to read that properly.
Yeah, the HEX smart contract is 3,000 lines of code, rough, more or less. And I mean, even because very few people have read it, very few people know that a big chunk of the smart contract, I think it's about a good third, if I remember correctly,
or dedicated to pre-claim and so on.
Yeah, it's dedicated to the Bitcoin free claim, only the Bitcoin free claim. And a lot of like codes, actually, I think a bit more than half of it is dedicated to the adoption phase. And so the contract that all the function that people are executing right now, it represents like a very smaller part of the smart contract, right? Past the adoption on player. So yeah, there's 3,000 live codes. I read it a couple of times. I wanted to understand it. I kind of like created a little personal simulation for trying to understand, what would happen if different scenario were to play out, and then that what created some conviction. Even to go beyond that, because I understood in depth the smart contract value early on, I understood that the key were the shares were the key aspect of the product. So that's why I created the Exert Live, which was the first project with this concept of league, because I understood that the league are not representing the holders, they are representing the stakers and the amount of shares that you have in the system. So for me,
I would have a question in regards to the leagues. Are you planning to make something more like the main leagues and some sub leagues as well, or will it be like always the same like this, or are there some changes coming?
Well, the existing league, I don't think they will change. It became kind of a meme in the community, and the system is very simple. The system is very simple in dynamic. It's just something that I coined, right? There's no concept of league. It's something that came up out of my mind, really, and that people are starting embracing. But
but maybe like if you climb up the league, at first you are like a little dolphin, and then you're like a big dolphin.
No, you're making a good point, right? So the way the league system works, because I understood that I wanted something dynamic that didn't have to change our parameters, that to be in a sense like a decentralized meme, that nobody could control the different parameters, what it means to be a dolphin or not. So I did something very simple, and that readjusts itself over time depending on the staking behavior, where you have I think about nine leagues, and they're all basically split in power of 10, right? So it's a logarithmic scale, because what happens in any kind of investments is the distribution is non-linear. So I wanted to create something where people felt that they could just add different segments that they could reach. But the truth is, if you want to climb 2 leagues, it means that you're multiplying by 10 your amount of shares, by 100, right? If you want to climb 3 leagues, you're multiplying by 1,000 your amount of shares. So it's really, really hard to climb a league. But the beauty here is that you imagine that you have all of a sudden a lot of people that are unstaking, while you actually virtually you're climbing the ladder, because your proportion of the share in the ecosystem increased compared to others.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday it was pretty funny because we got like I guess somebody who emergency unstaked, and like a lot of people mentioned in the chat, hey, did the dolphin emergency unstake? Like, I'm up one place.
All right, guys, before we go too deep into the stake app, why don't we, Steph, give us an elevator pitch for the stake app, like all the different function in there. What can the user do with the stake app? And after that, I would like to have Patrick here saying what we're going to do with the stake app and the workshop. So go ahead and give us an elevator pitch for the stake app.
Yeah, I can do that. And I'm just going to close on your previous question that was about like the one of the nice feature of HEX. I mentioned the fact that you can have like strong hands and it's provable on chain. And there's one feature that actually incentivize or enable that is the fact that you have penalties, right? There is, I mean, across any blockchain project, there's very, very few of them that incentivize, that puts kind of a stick, right? A lot of systems or protocols have carrots, way to incentivize folks just to behave a certain way by giving them some token or some yield, but very few have the opposite version, which is the penalty for breaking your contract, your commitment early. And I think for me, it's the single most important feature in the smart contract is the late and early termination fees.
Cool.
So for stake yeah, the elevator pitch for the stake up is quite simple. First, the mission of the staker company is just to help people realizing their dreams by securing and building wealth throughout their life. So we are kind of the goal is to create a very exciting, user-friendly surface substrate on top of HEX to make sure that it becomes easy for people to put some meaning behind their investment. It's not only just numbers and yield on the screen, but it helps you plan and think about your future, right? So we do that in a couple of different ways. We add a bit of gamification, a bit of social elements, and soon in version 2, we really deep dive into that notion of meaning with the dreams. So in the application, basically, you're going to be able to create some sort of a personal bundle and customize your stakes and put them together behind a dream or something that you want to finance in the future. So it could be, your next travel, but it could be something, the education for your kids. And so now your experience of staking becomes very personalized.
So you said with the Stake app, you want to help people to get into crypto and to fulfill their financial dreams, right? Be financially free in the future. And this is what Patrick and I are teaching the people too. Exactly the same, actually. And this is why we choose the Stake app to use as an onboarding tool on our workshops. Patrick, go ahead and maybe explain how we do the workshop and how do we integrate the Stake app in the work we do.
Sure. So in the next couple of months, we are going with wrapped cars through the country. We go to different states, different cities, and each and every place will have a so-called workshop where people can attend. And I go in the specific one this coming Friday here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where we are at University of Nevada. We have a classroom there, just a bit limited to 50 people because of the rules and regulations right now, but still a good start for 50 people. At first, we will introduce HEX a little bit. Then there is the phase where the people are will create the smart wallets in order to qualify themselves for the workshop giveaway. So what they are doing is to sign up with their email, then they create their private key, the 24 words, and then they get a free wallet creation. In cooperation with Steph, we are able to create the wallets for free. Thank you for that as well. Also to Fireban and the whole team. And after that, people will have their wallets created. I hope I'm allowed to say that Steph also helped out with this, that the wallet creation even got accelerated a bit, so we don't need to wait a few hours. It will go during the workshop, so we can do it in within a 2-hour time frame, the whole thing. Then everybody gets to show gets a ticket, when the wallet is created. So we have a pool of people where we can make the giveaway. Then after this is done, we explain the staking of HEX, so how you can make a passive income out of your HEX portfolio. How can you be financially free without the need of selling your principal? And then we have the giveaway of, on Friday, it will be 10,000 HEX for the first place. Maybe there will be a second place as well. Still thinking about it a bit. And will be 10,000 HEX giveaway where we choose the winner. And that's basically the end of the workshop. Everybody will get a handout where there is some additional information on it, where there is a labeled pen, where there is a card where you can write down your seed phrase, an envelope to put it in with some business cards where there is hex.com, pulsechain.com, and richardhart.com on it, I guess, yeah. And 2 stickers, so a hex and a pulse sticker to put somewhere.
So, Steph, how many stakers do we have in the Staker app already? Because Patrick and I, we are going to 40 places and we're trying to onboard 5,000 to 10,000 people. And I'm thinking about what's that going to do to the Staker app numbers of members.
So if you look at the entire Hex protocols, we are looking at 50,000. We just passed a few days ago 50,000 active stakers. It's more or less because we don't know how many addresses. It's just we're looking at unique addresses, and the all-time value there is 65,000. For Staker itself, I think right now we've been able to activate a bit more than 10,000 smart wallet. Right, so it's a fair amount of Hexicans are using stakers like their primary mechanism to stake. And actually, the rest of the community, we estimate that almost virtually all Hexicans use the app, even if they just use the kind of a portfolio bid-only mode. So 5,000 is a big number in a couple of months. I'm sure you guys are going to do a great job, bringing up these numbers. I think on our end, we have a lot of different initiatives that will help bring more people on board. With the V2, obviously, our objective, right, is just to making things faster, cheaper, easier for our users. When we first started a year ago with the concept of the vision for the product, we said that, okay, we want to be able to onboard new users, in one single app, within 10 minutes, right? So within 5 to 10 minutes. We're still it takes a bit more time than that, right? Some of these things that we can't really control, right? If you're just investing and you want to do a bank transfer, maybe your bank's going to be the bottleneck in the process. But we want, the goal, we won't be stopping until we reach that kind of like landmark of 5 to 10 minutes for onboarding someone, right? So it's a great product, and we want more people just to.
And I also need to say,
benefit from it.
3 days ago, I tried it out with a friend of mine from home. We just had a phone call, then he did the first 3 steps. 10 minutes later, he called me again. Now it's already created. I sent him the hex, and was onboarding and within 20 minutes. So really good.
It's getting better. It's gonna be cheaper over time, right? We have a couple of like strategies. The Pulsion might be one of the things that help there.
In regards of the Pulse chain, I have an important question there. Will it become cheaper to create the smart wallets, or will it be still like on the East chain, the smart wallet, the Knossi Smart Safe?
So everybody that has a smart wallet with the token associated with them, well, they will, because it's a smart contract, they will all be copied over at the snapshot over to Pulsion. So that's, if you have one created, you don't need to purchase another one. You already have one created on the other thing. But since everything's going to be cheaper on the other chain, well, it will be free basically to create a smart wallet on the Pulsion, at least initially.
Okay, so we don't rely on the East chain in order for the Knossi Smart Safe. It can be created on the Pulse chain.
These are independent smart contracts. So the question remains, like, which kind of experience we're gonna offer our users by default to interact with Hex, right? Do they, imagine a new user that comes to the application. We're not going to be explaining them, oh, by the way, you could do some staking on Ethereum network and some staking on the Pulsion network. We're going to be having some sort of say there at some point to say, hey, we feel that we're confident enough for defaulting, let's say, the app for on Pulse staking versus Ethereum staking. It might take some time for us. It's just a matter of like confidence and security into the new chain. Because again, this is one of the key things that we are looking at every time we're taking a decision in the company. The choice that we made with Knossi Safe, how fast we're releasing features, the way we test stuff before releasing to the public. Security is really number one for us.
And security. I mean, in my point of view, StakeApp is more secure than MetaMask, for example, and on the same level same level. I know you developers always tell me like, yeah, it depends, but on the same level, like a hardware wallet. May you tell us a bit like how is the security model of StakeApp, and what should a user maybe do in the first place before he downloads the app and creates the key?
Yeah, just a little backstory before I start. When we designed Staker initially, we had a choice. Either we were taking the easy road, a bit like MetaMask. MetaMask, they have their mobile application with the ability to create new seed phrase on device. We could have done that. It would have been easier for us, free for users, but we took the kind of like the harder path where you need to invest a little bit more to secure your funds, because we knew because we were here for the long term. We are not optimizing for the quick engagement, quick growth of the product. That was not our goal. We were thinking, what is the best things for users in the next 5, 10, 15 years? And it became very apparent to us that, if you growing a large amount, your portfolio is growing for a large amount in Hex, you want to be the most secure and having the ability to increase your security, because security is a spectrum. Imagine that you have right now, you have a MetaMask, right? And you're currently staked there. And for some reason, your seed phrase gets compromised. Well, it's a bit challenging, because now, compromised by meaning someone has been able just to access your 24 or 12 words. You're a bit stuck, because you're stuck, for 5, 10, or 15 years, and you don't know if the person or the entity that is now co-controlling your seed phrase will be emergency and staking, taking your fund or not, right? It's a very stressful situation if your seed phrase is compromised. The Gnosis said, because it's a smart contract, if you feel that you became insecure at any point in time, you have the ability to change the ownership of the smart wallet. So that's only option alone justify the investment. I won't go into the details, but we have a full list of features that come with the smart wallet. The ability to do multi-sig transaction very soon. We replay transactions. There's no stuck transaction. You can do everything without even thinking about having some ether on your
I like those features. I like those features, man. That you don't need to explain 2 coins. That you can just focus on Hex. That you only need to send 1 coin to the app. That you and this no stuck transactions, because a lot of times I'm dealing with people who are like, I have problems connecting my hardware wallet to MetaMask. I have problems to make a transaction. Then if you create a queue in the MetaMask, it's totally fucked up and all that stuff. So I really enjoyed in the app that you.
One way to compare maybe maybe they're gonna evolve their model to compare like MetaMask with the Gnosis Safe, and the way we presented all the features we put on top of that in Staker. It's almost if you have on one hand with MetaMask the old model, kind of a traditional sedan, a car, and then with Staker, this is where we're going. You have something that you can over the air upgrade it with more security features, a bit more like a Tesla, right? So you have it's like people can choose which cars they want to use. They come with pros and cons in terms of price point, in terms of like features, in terms of complexity of usage. But we chose the model that is obviously the most secure, and then where you can improve your security guarantees over time.
And when I open up the Staker account, I don't see I cannot view again my 24 seed words. Is that a feature of yours?
So again, we started with security in mind. We feel it's a security weakness for having stuff on device too easily accessible to anyone having your laptop.
I like it that way, Steph. So don't get me wrong. I really like it that way.
I'm just explaining, right? Because it's especially on mobile, so even a bit more sensitive. You're more likely to lose a model versus like a Chrome extension if you're using like a Chrome extension. So this is the current state of things. We still see some users that are losing. It's almost the number one support question is like I lost, or I don't know what I've done with my seed words, which often I'm baffled by the possibility of someone not reading the red text. And we have a verification steps that makes it very hard for someone just to do everything without noting down the seed phrase. But it still happens. We see a lot of people coming on daily basis. I have like 5 to 10 people reaching out to me saying, "Oh, I think I lost my seed phrase." So it's a lot, right? Because we are still like a small project.
But is it a possibility to just like open up the feature to view your seed phrase once somebody reached out to the customer support of Stake?
So the way it's done, and please don't abuse that. Otherwise, we won't be able to help people that really need it. To be able just to sign transactions without having you to re-enter your seed phrase every time. Your seed phrase is protected on device, is encrypted and secured on device, right? Unless you uninstall the app or you clear your cache and memory.
Exactly.
So because it's encrypted on device, there is actually a way locally to enable some sort of reveal. But this is gated features, and we don't want to make it easily accessible to everybody. So what I fear by saying that, what I fear is after the stream, a lot of people are gonna reach out to me and say, "Hey, I think I lost my seed phrase," and then I got 2,000 people reaching out to me too. So please be responsible, and we are not responsible for your seed phrase, for your keys anyway. So it's very, very clear. We don't have any obligation to do anything. But in the worst case scenario, if you've been reckless and stupid about not caring about your money, you can come to us. There's no promises, right? Hopefully you haven't installed the app and the seed phrase is still encrypted, and we can remotely enable that feature locally on your device.
So for me, what I'm concerned about, or what I think will be possible, so when I sign up with my email address and somebody steals my phone, can I contact you and you can like just disable the functions of the app for my email address?
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that we can do. Thanks to the account.
So even if somebody steals my phone and gets into my biometric security, he won't be able to perform a transaction. Is that correct?
Yes. So the advantages.
If I act in time. Sure.
So by using Staker, obviously, and pay for the fees, people might be complaining, "Oh, why there's a Staker fee?" Well, you're paying for service, right? We can help you to a certain extent if something goes wrong, and this is one of the use cases. It happened 2 or 3 times already. We've been helping a couple of users actually in very odd situation. Obviously, we're not custodian, so as we don't know about your seed phrase, you're the one controlling. If tomorrow Staker goes down, there's other ways just to using. It's a bit more advanced, so we might just do some publication for that, but you'll be able to interact with your smart wallet outside of the Staker interface. But the nice thing is, like, if you have the app on your mobile, and for some reason, even with the biometric lock, someone gets to your application, you can reach out to us. There's ways for us just to kind of like make sure that from the app, someone doesn't transact with it.
Cool. That's great. That's great, actually. Yeah. So about like funding the app, are there more options coming in the future, or is it working good, or what are your recommendations? Like how can I fund my app properly, especially if I am in the States, because that's concerning me the most right now, because what I know is like some states are pretty strict about it.
So this is the piece that is the most challenging, is the step from your fiat money. So it could be yen, USD, euro towards crypto. Right now we have a couple of partners. We signed a couple of deals 6-8 months ago. But we're in a process of applying for a license here in Europe, so we'll be able soon to sell some HEX and some Ether or USD ourselves, some crypto ourselves, at least in Europe first, and we'll see how much it costs and time it takes to expand in different territories. But right now the people have an option: either they use the partners that we have in the application, or they're using an external exchange like Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini in the US. These are kind of the most popular. For some of the stricter states like New York, Gemini is one that seems to be working. There's other options. So we don't, because we don't partner with them, we don't have strong recommendation, but we know at least these main three exchanges, Coinbase, Kraken, and Gemini, seems to be working well across most states in the US.
Okay, cool.
So what is great about the Staker app for me is that you have everything in this one app. You can buy HEX, you can sell HEX, and swap HEX, stake HEX. Everything is in there, right? And we're just talking about putting a fiat into crypto. So you have already three possibilities on your stake app, right? There's Indacoin, there's Ramp, and then there's also something else, Transact. Is the price different on the Staker app or on the open market, for example, when we use Uniswap? And when does that going to change in the future?
So right now, the way you do a swap within the application, we're using 1inch, kind of like aggregator, just to get the best price for our users. We're constantly looking into like best deals and best prices for our users. So there's another aggregator called Paraswap, right? So we are discussing with them right now to see if the pricing could be even more competitive for X based on their routing engine. That's for the swap itself. In terms of the end-to-end flow, right? Even the conversion from euro to or dollar to crypto and back to euro. Our ambition is to provide an end-to-end application, so you don't even go to a third-party partners. We'll be handling the entire flow, so reducing, the fees will go dramatically down. We'll be controlling the entire experience. That's why we are currently applying for these licenses so that we can sell some crypto.
Wow, this is pretty much the end game. I think this will make Staker app the killer app in crypto if you have a tool like this.
I told you guys we want to be able to onboard people, around 5 minutes started. So in order to do that, we need to be able to control the entire flow.
Yeah.
But it takes a bit of time, right? So we do it step by step, where we just been prioritizing our effort with building an MVP, showing that there was some demand for something different, from just using MetaMask and Uniswap and Coinbase and Go.Hex.com. Right? You need to use like 4 different platforms. My mom would never have just gone on board with X, just using 4 different platforms and just using MetaMask so that's how Staker came about. It's like, is there a cleaner way, a simpler way just to get the user stake? There's still a few friction points, like around the smart wallet and the fiat to crypto, but it's something on our roadmap, and we are just spending most of our days trying to look for solutions and partnership there.
Steph, I missed one question about security. When it comes to our workshops, should I recommend to the people that they step out of a maybe local Wi-Fi, which might be there? For example, on a campus, people always use like the campus Wi-Fi, or in a restaurant there might be also a Wi-Fi. So is it better to recommend that they should go out of the Wi-Fi and use their local mobile phone internet provider?
Yeah, it's like, again, security is a spectrum. There's no one way. I would just go with the maximum security for that step. So if people can get outside of not activate their Wi-Fi even during the entire workshop, that would be recommended. If they have a data plan, right, there's no reason for them just not to be on the Wi-Fi in the room. That's my first recommendation. The second recommendation.
And if they don't have a Wi-Fi, I can still go with my phone out of the Wi-Fi and create a hotspot, or is that less secure than just Wi-Fi?
I mean, it will be less secure for them to use directly their
own mobile
provider. There's no reason just to add any intermediary or middleman there or proxy interaction. So that's my first recommendation.
Then I will also tell them that they should close every app in the background, which is open in the background on the phone, just like in case.
Obviously, if you feel that you have crappy application on your mobile phone, and I can give example of what is crappy.
Yeah, please give me some crappy examples.
Well, any kind of like games, recording apps, things to do video editing on your phone. Often these apps are like free, or they come with a freemium. They tend to do some screen recording, right? Sometimes you want to do something with your phone and share it. So you install an app that does some screen coding, and you authorize the app. You grant the app too much authorization about what they can access on the phone. The entire screen.
So the riskiest thing is like what authorizations do the applications on your phone have?
Yeah, so it depends. If you have a trusted app, right, that does recording, it's fine. But you should be careful like what kind of application you've been using. If some application you haven't been using in the past 3 to 6 months, maybe it's better just to delete the application. Any application that does some sort of copy pasting, accessing your clipboard, right? Every mobile phone has a clipboard. So when you just, let's say, copy, maybe not those few phrases, but you're copying even an address, right? And there's also app listening to the clipboard, and that just give away some private information about your, yourself. So you need to have a nice hygiene. The same way on the computer, you would want to have some sort of nice hygiene and not having a crappy extension, browsers, or even
Is
things
there
that are installed on your computer.
Is there a minimum iOS version or Android version that the app is running properly or something like that?
I don't have it top of my head, but from the App Store and the Play Store, that gives you the minimum version that you need to install the app. So,
but if people are coming like with an iPhone 5, it still works.
I don't have top of my head. I can just look it up, but I would just go to Apple.
No, just in case, I don't want to have like people and like, I have not the right.
I'm telling you, the best way just to get the information would be, that's what I'm doing right now on Google, typing Staker app Apple. You get onto the Apple version.
Okay.
On Apple, they should give you a list of kind of authorized compatibility. So it's iPhone 12 or later, iPad 12 or later, iPod Touch 12 or later.
So it's all pretty new stuff. Anyways, we will find that out on the road when we're doing the workshops.
But I know I installed it on older iPhones already, the stake app. So
awesome, then it works. So then we will have people failing or not. But
it depends if you can still like upload the iOS to this version, I guess. Yeah.
I would now like to talk about the users of the Staker app and also the general Hex user. You have in your app a feed where you see that the people stake or unstake, and they do all kinds of stuff. And when we started with Hex, our average staking length of the ecosystem was 4.5 years in the staking length, right? Right now, we are up to 5.5 years. The average is staking. But Steph, how can you maybe describe the user of the stake app? They're staking way longer than the average Hex staker, right?
So in order, I don't know how many people are familiar with the weighted average. But the way it works is like, I'm going to give you a very simple example. If you have someone staking 10,000 X for 1 year and someone staking 10 times more for 15 years, then the average is going to be skewed towards, where there's more weight in terms of Hex staked. So this is when you have a duration of 6 years, that means that, you have a lot of people staking either on the kind of the short side, in the middle side, or the long side of things. If the average is moving up, in order to move that average, you need to have a lot more people, the most recent people or existing people restaking, pushing stuff, above 6 years. So it's gonna have to be 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, because there's so many existing already stakers that put some weight on the current position of the average. So to move it even a little bit, that means a lot of most recent stakes are skewed towards 10 years and plus.
So I think it's great that the average is actually moving upwards. We are now at 5.5 years average stakes. But I was wondering, why is the Staker app user staking longer than, for example, the other users?
You're right. So for the Staker app users, the weighted average is about 11 years compared to the Hexicans. So which means that for some reason, people using the app feel more confident about staking longer. That's what it means, right? I don't have like a clear explanation. I have a few hints on what's happening. There's a few people referring.
My hint right now would be that just Firebun and you are making your restaking 555s in the stake.
No, just more seriously, what seems to be happening, and I don't have enough data points I would need to do a strong survey to get a better sense, but imagine that you're using Staker, right? And you stake for 5 years. Then you want to, a month later, the price goes up, you're really happy, you're just sharing with people, your peers, people around you, and say, hey, I'm just collecting a lot of yield, and people feel maybe they're a bit late to the party, and they ask their referral, how do I get, more yield? And they might just push because they see someone that was there in front of them, they push it, and now the more people can show to their peers when they're referring that they're in the ecosystem for 5, 10, 15 years, the likelihood is for the next person to do at least as much in terms of staking. That's my, non-data-driven assumption. But I heard a few people just explaining, the way they were onboarding people, and it seems that Referral are doing a great job pushing people. And it's somewhat easier than what you would do, compared to just having something in MetaMask, but because it's not displayed the same. The conversation is slightly different. We don't have this concept of gamification and leagues, and so that whole packaging basically makes it really compelling and easy for people they can see themselves basically that they need to stake a bit longer just based on what their peers are doing.
Steph, will there be a calendar function with the new version?
Yeah, it's already designed. It will be implemented.
Awesome.
So my next question also regarding the users. Have you seen the behavior on Stake app? How are people behaving when they end their stake? What they're going to do with their hex? Do you have data points like this? And my assumption is that I guess people would just stake longer in the future, because this is what I'm doing. I'm getting out stakes in like 30 days, and then I will just restake them way longer to save my T-shares. Have you seen anything like this in the Stake app for the users?
So that's the other part of the equation, right? The reason why you are asking, the things have been moving much higher up, and not only do you have new users taking longer, but even existing stakers that were maybe on the fence at the beginning saying I'm going to have like a 1 year or 2 year stakes. They're like, oh, that product is so good. If I don't stake, what I'm losing on table, given the potential. So everybody's seems to be staking longer. What do we see in Staker specifically? Well, we can't see anything specific yet because our users are staked on average for 11 years. Right, so we don't have a restaking data yet.
I wanted to say the same. Stake app was not here in during the launch phase of Hex, so there aren't so many stake app users who are getting out stakes already because they knew it from the get-go with a good onboarding that it's best to stake long from the get-go.
Well, there are people staking long, but there are also people staking short, and I see it in the Stake app feed all the time that somebody's end staking and then immediately staking again for maybe longer.
That's probably not a Staker app user.
User, yeah.
Okay.
It's all users on the feed. I
love this behavior. Maybe, Steph, can you explain why do people do that and why should they do that? You mentioned the leagues before. How can people climb in the league?
So to gain, ranks in the league, you need more share. You need more shares compared to others. There's a couple of ways to do that. Either you buy more hex and you stake it. Right, so you acquire more shares in the ecosystem, but it only works if you're the only one buying more shares. Because if you have all existing users that do the same thing relative to each other, you won't have gained any rank because everybody tried just to mint more shares. So it's not only your behaviors; it's relative to others. How much more do you want to compete for the year?
Battle, huh, Steph?
It's a seed.
You created a seed battle.
Indeed, it's really a dynamic and competitive ranking. So that's the first thing: buy more hex, and you hope that you buy just more than anyone else, and you can gain a few shares. If we move from 50,000 stakers to 500,000 stakers, that's that many more users competing for shares that is going to be harder and harder for anyone just to move rank. So to your earlier question, we might introduce sub leagues or different ways to gamify things to make it more interesting for users. The other way just to gain more shares is simply when one of your stake expire, to push it a bit longer, right? You might just take a bit of your principal, a bit of your interest, depending on your situation, and just push it further in the future. In that case, yeah, there's some potential, even while taking profit, there's some potential to gain at the same time more shares.
I have another question. You mentioned like the referral program. Can you explain how the ref program works with StakeCap and how people out there can open up like a new side business with StakeCap? And I have a community question in regards to that as well, which is, might it be possible with the referral links if people are first on their PC laptop device that you still have the right cookie sets or something like that?
Yes, so right now the attribution only works on mobile. So if you're sharing your referral link, you will get some attribution for people creating an account and installing the app, only if they click your link from this kind of the same mobile device.
Yeah, from their mobile device.
That's the current limitation. We will expand with more flexibility down the line, where it works also on desktop, where you can also have like a code, a referral code that your referee or your referral can enter after the fact to make sure that the attribution worked correctly. So yeah, we haven't focused that much right now on the referral piece of the ecosystem, because we have so much important stuff to do to clean up the experience for users. The referral piece is just a little bonus for inviting people just to create a bit of adoption. But really, where we focus most of our energy is, again, to reduce the onboarding time to below 5 minutes. So we'll have more stuff to announce around referral with the V2. But I agree, in the past 6 to 8 months, hasn't been our main focus about building features for referrals. We haven't really focused on that.
So, Steph, we were talking about the league system before, and I have a user question here from Hex Bull Run. He's asking Steph, Gold Dolphin, Silver Dolphin, etc. There gonna be different like layers of dolphins and all the other leagues in the future?
Yeah, we haven't thought like in detail about it. So
but for everybody out there, you can help Steph, Fireban, and the StakeCap team a little bit by thinking about like what would be like the best sub leagues in the current league system, and then you can shill your pitch to Steph. And if you're have the best idea in mind, for sub leagues, then Steph don't needs to break his head around that, and you can already come with a perfect version too.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. We have a lot of ideas, but we don't know which way we're gonna go right now. So yeah, that's a nice advice. If you have ideas about features you want to see in the app, things that are bothering you, concern, reach out to us. I mean, we right now I've been doing most of the support, and now we're expanding the team just to share the load. But we're very open and responsive across Discord, Twitter. We have an email as well, contact@staker.app. So we try to be quite responsive, and there's no bad question. We are just here to learn, and so over time, what we're gonna be doing with the V2 also helping users self-serve, the application when it comes to support with some sort of knowledge base or FAQ. This is also something lacking right now.
Okay, then when Pulse Chain goes live, a StakeCap user needs to do something, or just lean back and get a notification from the app that now you can use Pulse Chain as well, or something like that?
So normally it should be kind of like the thing is going to be happening for users out of the box is like, because it's smart wallet, as I mentioned, you get all of your tokens, right? So you get all your tokens. If you participate to the sacrifice phase, you hopefully, we'll see, if someone is kind out there, you might just be allocated a couple of points or tokens on your wallets. In terms of like support in app, right now we can't promise anything. We can't give you an expectation, because we haven't seen the testnet. There's no testnet live right now, nothing we can play with. Yeah. So
you need the testnet, then you can develop a front end for the Pulse chain ecosystem, and then there might be an option in the app where you on the top you see like Ethereum, and when if you click it, you can switch between ETH and Pulse chain.
Yeah, I mean that's what we want to do, right? But right now we are kind of like stuck in a sense that we don't have enough like understanding of like the way the network's going to be working, the kind of like latency. We would like also to be able. The name of the app is called Staker.
Yeah, so, I mean, what I know is like that the current London fork, the EIP 1559, created some issues with uploading the testnet. Is that right? Or
yeah, just let me finish my thought.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to support the Pulse chain. How is it going to look like in the app? Yeah, most likely we're going to have a way to switch between networks, make it very, very apparent to users, and also the ability to get some sort of aggregated view across network, so you can see the entire portfolio across chains, right? Whether it's Pulse, whether it's Arbitrum, whether it's like a layer 1 Ethereum. Our goal at some point, because we anticipate the future is going to be multi-chain, that we have ways for having aggregated view for the entire portfolio, but also to switch from one network to the other, and for it not to be confusing. So that when you're actually staking, it's very obvious to you visually that on which network you're doing it.
Okay, and then so after the fork, will I see like double the amount of my T-shares in the app?
Again, I don't know this.
Are you going to go? Yeah, but for the user view, are you going to combine contracts?
Yeah, I just mentioned. Yeah, we're gonna have some sort of aggregated view. That's the goal. But right now we don't have the specifics because we're waiting to get a bit more like technical details before actually spending time. Even we don't want to spend energy towards something that's not there. Sure. For all I know, the person could be coming in 6 months. Right, so I'm not gonna spend time right now engineering stuff and then not releasing a feature and waiting 6 months for it to release. So we're really waiting for the testnet to come about to get understanding that the things are working correctly, and we're gonna be very, very careful when we release even support for Pulse because as Richard mentions, we don't like to test new thing fresh. Security is key. We have enough track record and data to tell us that staking on ETH works. It sucks a bit because of the fees, but it works, right? So we're gonna really take our time on the Pulse side for users, right?
So Patrick and Steph, you guys made a shout out to the community to ask for ideas, and our community is way ahead of that already. So Cabanas Crypto is asking, when do we see NFTs on the Stake app? Somebody else is asking, when do we see a different skins for the Stake app so the people can choose their own colors and stuff like that? So the guys are already ahead of the future.
We stakers, we get bored after staking our 5555. So that's why we all come to you, Steph, and ask if you can give us more exciting things by tomorrow.
Yeah, so I mean NFTs right now it's not in the immediate roadmap. We had a couple of ideas at some point just to create something of like you have all these leagues, and maybe based on your behavior, you get we kind of like airdrop a couple of like NFTs to some users, right? So that's still something that could come at some point. So that's also the advantages of like for people using Staker. Over time, we'll be able to give prizes for incentivizing behaviors of people staking or the referrals. It could be NFTs, it could be different things. We don't have concrete plans, but I just want to tell that we are discussing a lot of like the next step in terms of making the application more exciting, more rewarding for users. Could be NFT, could be different things.
There's one section. This is called achievements. Maybe you can talk about that. What was your idea behind the achievements in the Stake app?
Yeah, so we want. It's like the way humans work. We love badges. We love having some sort of recognition personally, or even something that you can brag about. So this is the goal of achievement. Like in any kind of games, you have this kind of notion of points or levels, and this is what we are trying to achieve. The league system is already in a sense, some sort of like a status or achievement that we put together. But when it comes to like a proper achievement category, I think we will be kind of like people are gonna be able just to have some badges, and even in the feed, we'll be able to display for the people that want to share that, a couple of badges against your events. The kind of badges, we're thinking about is like, hey, if you've been staking, the first day, well, you got the day one FOMO badge, right? And there'll be a few limited amount of people that will get this one. There's actually the people using the app and are tracking tracking their address there. Another example could be someone that on the weekly basis stakes and stakes again, right? So a recurring staker, they're gonna have some sort of badges. Someone that only does 555, they're gonna have like specific badges, right? So you can have like maybe some sort of diamond hands or iron glove type of badges. So we already have like a couple of badges, a couple of achievements. I'm just giving you examples. But yeah, the goal is just for people just to have some goals, some things they can reach. For each badges or achievements, you can have level. So you have like 1 badges, and then the first level of the badge, the second level. So people are going to be able to share that with others, saying, hey, this is how far of an Hexicans or of a staker I am, just based on how many achievements they unlocked.
This is awesome. I think this is a way to like even steer the user in this or another direction. You give the badges out for like only 555 stacks, and then people will try to achieve that. So this is great to teach the people how to act accordingly with your hacks in the future. So I'm really excited to see all that what you're doing.
Yeah, and we are also planning to do like each and everybody on our workshops who does like a 5555 stake right away will get a nice hex merch.
Yeah, and it's also a nice way to educate people about the intricacies of hex, right? Sometimes people are so excited that they dive into the different details about the T-shares and maybe the fact that you can create your ladder. But if you have a really nice way and fun, playful way to go step by step in your discovery of the product of Hex, right? That's just that makes it a bit less like overwhelming, intimidating for users. So yeah, that's why we're using gamification and social elements, because that works. There is thousands and thousands of apps. The most successful app on the Play Store and the App Stores are gaming apps, and because people love to have little challenges at their level and just progress, and then compare their progress to others. I mean, that's been proven times and times again, and that's what we do. We're making Hex just more fun.
Cool. Steph, I mean, for the stake questions, I'm done. I would actually have a different question in regards to staking, because personally, I cannot trust the Ethereum chain anymore when it comes to 5555 stakes. What is your take on that?
Well, it's I don't give any financial advice, but yeah, it's up to you. I don't think Ethereum is going anywhere. There's too much momentum just for I'd be surprised for Ethereum just to disappear in the next.
No, not to disappear, but who is telling us that the S-load function isn't increasing in the next 15 years? Who is telling us that the total block space will be big enough for a 5555 stake to be able to run the end stake function on it?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. No, that's a risk that anyone need to evaluate.
Because on the Pulse chain there is a founder who will guarantee that you can run this end stake function. It's not a thing of expectations actually. Yeah, it's like
no, this is expectation actually. That's why your question is interesting, because no one can tell for sure how the future is going to look like.
Yes,
but even if you're making a bet on Pulse, you can't guarantee for sure what's going to happen. If the chain's going to be launched, if the way it's going to work, the way it's going to be working in 15 years, you can just make assumption of what is likely with things to happen. But to be fair, we're so early. No one can be reasonable and honest and say, "Oh, I know what's going to be happening in 15 years." No one can tell. right? And anyone that is telling you this is the way I see the next 15 years, well, they are bullshitting you, and I'm calling bullshit, right? Whether it's the value of your stake, it's just to find a future. Things can change. Imagine how the world were like 15 years ago. Bitcoin was not even invented.
There weren't any cryptocurrency 15 years ago.
So I'm just giving you like the blunt, honest answer. Nobody knows shit, and most people pretend that they have a feeling, and they take that feeling for maybe too much of what could be happening. The world is so complex, right? A lot of different things could be happening. Right?
All right.
Anything from the people?
I don't have anything from the people regarding questions about the Staker app, so we can just go ahead and just have a small talk, I guess.
Exactly. So what are like your next short-term goals with the Stake app? What would you like to achieve in the next couple of months?
So yeah, we are very busy. We're actually raising some money right now from external investors. There's a lot of interest into funding our ambitions. What we're trying to achieve really is as a team, you said, oh, you want this feature and this feature and this feature as well. To have all these nice and features well tested, well crafted, you need people. You need people to build them, to test them, to design them. And so we're expanding the team. We'd like to be in 12 months to grow the team to about 15 to 20 people. And so that's why we're going with the external funding, so that we're just adding a bit more legitimacy on the what we achieved so far, and that gives us also some leverage to be able just to attract more talents in the Staker company. Yeah.
Cool. Do you have any questions for us, or any recommendations like for our workshops or anything like that?
Yeah, actually. So you mentioned the security there, and for me it's like a subject I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. You understood it. You understood it with our conversation. So I just will want to re-put some emphasis. It's like think about it's kind of a one-time event. Maybe you guys gonna be surrounded by 50 to 100. I hope maybe even more if you're really successful. Hundreds and hundreds of people. Yeah, be very rigorous and and careful that the way things are set up for yourself, for the people that you're onboarding. We mentioned Wi-Fi, we mentioned apps installed. Another thing to mention is like when people just are creating their seed phrase, hey, are they doing it in the right fashion? Is there anyone recording in the room? I haven't seen this kind of large scale onboarding at Play before. So because it's something new, and you have a very critical step in the process, you guys need to be very careful. And the people watching there, if they participate or they see this video later, whenever you're creating new seed phrase or re-importing seed phrases, at this moment you need to be really paying attention. You don't want to have your kids disturbing you. You need to be focused on the task at hand.
All right, Steph. So we have many people in the chat saying I should thank Steph and Fireband for the work they do and for this amazing product that really helped the community a lot to have this amazing possibility to view all your stakes and all your hacks in this.
Yeah, you were definitely one of the first ones. So you and Fireband who showed us how valuable the T-shirts are, and I guess Fireband was one of the. So for me, he was the first one showing me what impact this time frame over 10 years is having.
Yeah. And we're going to be bringing more statistic, more visualization, obviously to help advanced users, but also new users to understand the best way to play the game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what I like, for example, from backuphex.com is the feature that you can choose a low staking day for the future, like in 12 years, in 14 years, where nobody else is staking, for example. Are you also looking into kind of that?
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. But my sense is like, with regard to the distribution of stake over time, I think which is the curve that you see on Hex Vision, things will smooth out, right? The more adoption, imagine that right now we have 50,000 stakers. You 10x or 100x that number over the next 10 years, people will naturally just even without looking at the future
At the
distribution.
chart, yeah.
It's randomly because of their birthday, because of whatever they want to do. There's so many people that naturally things gonna be smoothed out. So I'm not too much concerned about like selecting a given point in time, because it will be absorbed by a lot of new users anyway that will just go on top of you. So it's I'm not really concerned about that over time.
And of course, we have the chart of future market supply of HEX, so you see it on hex.vision.
Yes.
But I don't know how beneficial it is to search for a place where less HEX is staked. I think it's way more beneficial to make 15 stakes, one yearly, and then only do 15-year stakes in the future.
Yeah.
So this is my plan, at least.
If
sometimes I see somebody staking for, let's say, 5,000 days, and he just did not want to commit for 555 more days. And then I'm thinking, come on, you're committing for such a long time. Why not just make it 5 days, max it out, the interest?
Yeah, maybe, that's like they're targeting, I don't know, a given point in time, or people want to play different kind of games. But again, 15 years is a long time, so it's reasonable for people having different strategy, trying things out. I don't think in the long run, if you do 5,000 days or 5 it doesn't change that much. I would believe that even
because I really think it changes a lot, because with the reverse compound interest effect of the share rate, those last 555 days, so the last 1.5 years, or those last 2 months, those last 55 days will be like the most incredible thing you have ever seen in your life, I suppose.
In terms of payout, right?
Yeah, in terms of how much hex you get per day for those stakes.
Yeah, for sure. But people have reasons, right? There's not everybody just want to just go the full time. If they want to go 1 year before, sometimes people ladder. So yeah,
I was speaking like once you already have your ladder, for restake.
Okay.
So our recommendation is to use the time frame at first, and when you're doing your restaking, then you can just put it towards the end. So and this like putting towards the end, maybe it's better to really go for the 5.
It's really something personal, right? If someone right now is 55 or 60. If my parents saw staking, I'm not gonna tell them just to go 5. I don't think I'm gonna tell them just to go 5, right? So
yeah, but it will benefit you. Sorry.
It could be, but then that comes down to, again, that's why we're building the dream stuff. Is like, why are you even staking?
Yeah,
right. Because having just numbers on the screen for having numbers on the screen, maybe that's good for some people. Some people want to cash out. They have a specific project in mind, and over time, right? Anyway, that maybe we're benefiting in a couple of first few years from a huge appreciation, in price and a very good yield. But if Hex goes global, at some point you have like you have less volatility, and also it's in price, and also less yield. So we'll see what happens in 15 years. But again, people have different time frame, different project, different stuff. So I understand. It's good to have like some to spread stuff and using this 5, and even I think it's gonna be maybe the most common behavior when people have like a ladder and they see the first stake coming in. Everybody's gonna go towards the same question. I've heard it and I've seen it in the past few months already. What do I do? How much do I cash out? How much do I push towards 15 years? Right. A lot of people are just questioning right now because they think that Hex is so valuable that even they don't want to even take profit. That's the kind of product that we have. So
do you have some other cryptos or some stocks or something like that to cash out first?
So Patrick and we have different strategies to move up in the league. And my strategy, for example, is to cash out less than the guys above me. So
and my strategy
is to get more T-shares. Right, so we have a little bit different of a strategy. But I have a great question. Do you want to go ahead with this question still?
No, go ahead.
I have a good question for you guys here on the chat. Somebody is asking, Ash, has anyone mapped the growth percentage trend of new stakers users as a chart? Do we have a chart that shows how many users?
Yeah.
Where do we find it?
Someone just did it. Like, I think it's 1 day old.
Really? Okay, nice.
It's a good. Maybe others have done it as well. I mean, we have the data, but we don't have them plotted in a chart. You can look at I think it must be the last or the one before, the video from Gerardo that just created an adoption chart recently. I think it must be the last videos. So it's pretty well done. The new unique addresses, the new stakers. So it's in his video. I don't know if he uploaded it to his website yet, but he started working on it for sure.
All right. I will put the link of Gerardo's YouTube channel in the chat. He is a really good YouTuber, and he explains everything so well. I love Gerardo. You guys should go there and look at this video that Steph was just recommending.
Exactly. Give him a subscription as well. It also helps your Hex portfolio.
All right, guys. Patrick, do you have some more questions? Steph, do you have some more questions? Because if the chat gives me no more questions, then I would say we would just end the stream for today. Anything else left, Patrick?
No, Steph has something.
I have one last question, because it's what a lot of people pay attention to. What is your price prediction for Hex for Christmas, or the end of the year, roughly?
Yeah, man. For me, it's pretty hard because I was always thinking, okay, Pulse Chain will come in October, maybe like in the first week of November. And you are the guy who destroyed my illusion, telling me like it might take until Christmas or something like that. And I was like, But so that changes, because like when somebody asked me in the past, what is your price prediction for Christmas? I would say like I don't know, because I think Pulse Chain is out till then. But if that's not the case, then I would say we can see $1 for Christmas.
So you think that?
I really like the dollar prediction here. As you said, like
for Christmas, it's not for March. He didn't ask for March. March is
end of the year. So if Pulse Chain is out, and then I totally see 50 cents to $1. But my main goal in our US road trip for the next half a year is to reach $7 by the end of April 2022.
End of April, end of March.
No? End of March, April. Yeah, those months are really close together. Don't put my $7 prediction down to 1 month.
So it's almost like till the end of the year. So the next 4 months, you do a 6x, right? And then after that, you do a 7x.
We are already on 25 cents, Steph. So it's only a 4x from here to the dollar.
That's true. 4x. It goes too fast. I don't have time to look at the chart. So
update your numbers. The price in Hex is going up so fast. We did already more than 5,000x, right? So the next move to go to $7 is only the 28x so more. So we did that already 100 times. So we just have to do it one more time. And after that, what will happen? We will do another 30x just one more time. Those 30x are so easy in Hex to achieve. We made hundreds of them already,
Yeah, during doing it, it's not feeling that easy, but yeah.
While doing this, while you're on the train, sometimes goes up and down. It's crazy, but in the long run, when you look down, look back 1 year, now we think, why are we so crazy? Why haven't we bought more Hex in the past? Now it's easy to say, and the charts don't lie. They look up at like $1 million Hex in the future, 2027, right?
Yeah, I mean, Richard made some created a nice new FOMO chart.
Yeah. Thanks for your prediction.
But let me put the question back, please. So, what is your price prediction for Christmas?
I think we can do a 10x by Christmas.
So $2.50, nice.
Yeah, roughly, more or less, right? It depends. I mean. Some of it depends on how well we're doing with Staker, right? If we manage to do a nice round of raising a bit of like investor money, VC money, and then we release the V2 with a lot of nice new features, I think we could easily, even on top of like a mostly active user on the application, do triple or like times 3 or times 5 the number we currently have. And that would actually lead the price to do a 10x. So, especially by in the US, you have like Thanksgiving and between Thanksgiving and Christmas, a lot of people just, in the family areas, they onboard new people into crypto. We've seen that again and again in different cycle in crypto. And if you have the app, right, you show up your cousins or whoever you are there, and the next thing you know, like within the next next week or next 2 weeks, you have like 10x more users coming to the platform.
I have two things to say for that. So first, back in January, when on the online conference, when the people got asked like of their hex price prediction for 2021, there was, I still remember Joe Hexotic saying $1.88. So Joe, you might be right with that. And another thing, Steph, like between Thanksgiving and Christmas, we will drive the East Coast of America. And if you guys have somebody from your team, or if Fireburn wants to join, if you want to join, there is always a place in our cars to ride down the East Coast together, and to give everybody a Thanksgiving Christmas present in the months between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
No, thanks for the invitation. And actually, I need to travel to the US, so I'll try to make a piece of the trip or the road with you guys, and try to meet the team as well. So we'll see what we can do. But thanks again for the invite.
It would be awesome to see you on the street and on the West Coast. But this also goes to all the viewers, to the East Coast. Yeah, sorry. But this shout out also goes to all of our members in our community. If you want to participate, you can always come to our Telegram chat and just ask for like whatever, then we set up workshops and meetings, and everybody in the community can be part of that. That would be awesome. So
exactly.
Just send us in DM.
Yeah, we have awesome Hexicans. Like some Hexicans already booked the accommodation for us. Others already are looking into a workshop venues. Others already told us, yes, so for example, a Hexican in San Diego, his family is owning a vineyard, and he said, yeah, guys, come to my vineyard. I have space for 150 to 200 people. Let's have an awesome afternoon here, make your workshop, and then we have good wine, good food here. And yes, that's like how it goes on. And yeah, we are really looking forward to start, to get everything done, to bring out the message. And it will never be about selling a financial asset. It's only like giving the people the information for it. Yeah, a lot of people in the beginning of Hex told me like, yeah, but if it's so cool, why isn't everybody doing it? And the answer is pretty easy. Nobody knows about it. We just need to bring out the message, and with more eyeballs, more and more people will see themselves how awesome this code is, how nice this kind of money is, and then it will be a no-brainer for the people, and it will build up naturally. We just need to bring out the message, and that's the key here.
And this is the reason why I'm so confident with my $7 prediction. We have the awesome community in Hex. We have streamers like Matty, Discord Syndicate like us.
Or
we
Gerardo.
Have awesome developers like Steph here, and all the other internet pages. They're all community driven. And this is why I know we're going to reach $7 and even beyond in the future as well.
Because the Hex streamers, they don't aim to make money on their viewership. So normally each and every crypto influencer, YouTuber needs to make money based on his viewership, like with his ref links or margin trading things, or set up your you buy your ledger with this ref link, or set up your exchange account with this ref link. And we don't need to have this in the Hex community, because the Hex community is a community of stakers. It's a community of people who are earning passive income, and it's a community who likes to cross-promote each other, because they know that our all underlying asset, the Hex price, will rise if we just go out with the message and cross-promote each other.
Yeah, but I would just also like to mention that there is nothing wrong in that, just to capture about a bit of value when you create value, right? This is a nice way to create an incentive for people to push for more excellence. We could have decided to create Staker as like a side gig, right? Like something on the side where we don't really have much stake sorry for no pun intended, in it. If that was the case, we would have been probably less motivated just to look into details and push for and hiring. I mean, that's the truth. The way that systems works, in life is like when you create incentive, people react to incentive. So I would not discourage anyone just to seek for capturing a bit of value when you create value. That's really common. Even Richard himself, right? He likes to brag that he's giving everything for free, but the truth is, it's fair to say that building Hex and building Pulse did not make him like a poorer.
Yeah, definitely.
Somebody in the chat was just mentioning that we should also promote or mention the streamer's website for the people, and I just put it in the chat here. The site is called hexstreamers.com, and if you go there, you will see that the Crypto Sparbook is streaming right now, and then also Crypto Discord, DJ Cryptomatic, and offline is Discord Syndicate, and so on. So we have this awesome page. You guys go there, and then you will always see what is going on in the Hex cryptosphere.
Maybe one last thing, and I think I'll have to go, guys. So little pre-announcement. We need to figure out some details, but the Staker team will create their own show. It's gonna be every Sunday with a lot of surprises, a lot of goodies. So we'll be announcing the details very soon. But more content, more streamers.
Cool. And on YouTube, so you're going to create your Staker YouTube channel?
Everywhere.
Okay, awesome.
Cool. I cannot wait to see that. Steph, it was great talking to you. Thanks for everybody who was
Thank
watching.
you very much.
I hope at this point everybody gave a like already, because Steph is an awesome guy. Please give him a like, and also subscribe to our channel, right? It's really important that you even click the bell, because there's a lot of content coming from Hexline and me in the future.
Exactly. So here we, Crypto Sparbook, together with the Staker team, we will initiate the magic carpet ride of Hex by having 3 cars, cars wrapped, and let's start the magic carpet ride to $7. And that's it, guys. All the best to you, and thanks for you, Steph, to coming by today.
Let me say the last word. And Patrick and I, we're not doing this alone. We have a whole team behind us, and also we have the Hex community. We are all cross-promoting. We are cross-promoting with Maddie Allen, with Discord Syndicate, with Steph here, for example, with the Stake App. So we, as a community, we're gonna do the magic carpet ride to $7.
Exactly.
So thanks for everybody, and see you next.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Steph.
Bye.